and we will address your question about the sleeping side, because to me it's all relevant. If you don't satisfy hunger, your brain's hierarchy of needs are, I don't want to go to sleep, I need to be fed. If you look at a child, an infant's crying, she's crying. You nurse the child, immediately fat, protein comes from the breast milk, child is deep asleep. You could drive a train by, a child's sound asleep. But yet we become adults and we think, oh, we can't eat fat, we can't have protein. Why? Works for a child. When did the rules change for us as adults? So number one, you got to satisfy appetite, fat and protein.
Do you eat before bed? Or like how long till you like stop eating before you go to sleep?
Well, I have a cup of tea before bed.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's not eating.
No.
But that's the key. There's no protein or fat in it.
Why don't you try, like, have you tried to do some different shit before bed or like with your nightly routine, or are you just still going, fuck, why didn't I sleep?
Well, and that's where we're going with it on
that's why I'm asking, because
yeah.
I'm like, man, I just eat, my pasta and stuff like that. But like the other night, we went and got a gelato and I didn't notice anything. Like my deep sleep didn't really change.
How much fat's in gelato? I don't eat gelato, so I don't know.
Probably fuck all. Just heaps of sugar.
Gelato.
Sugar.
It's the Italian.
It's just sugar.
It's the Italian
ice, right?
Yeah.
Ice cream.
Yeah, but I don't think it has any fat or protein in it. I don't know. I'm not a gelato expert. So
you reckon fat's before bed?
It absolutely has to be fat. Think about a nursing child.
So
a child nurses on the cholesterol that's in the breast milk. It's high in fat and protein. Those are the only
suck on some titties before bed.
Those are the.
I've tried it.
Those are the only two macronutrients that'll satisfy appetite is protein and fat.
Yeah.
So do do 2 hard-boiled eggs and an avocado and extra virgin olive oil. And this is where I was going to go with you. You're already doing a great job getting rid of the blue light. 2 hours is the magical number. Give me at least an hour, but you're already there.
Yep.
Make the room extremely dark and extremely cold.
I run those.
That's perfect.
I've bought
the sleep mask. You're doing the sleep mask?
I've got the mask.
Yep.
And it's comfy as, and all my deep sleep is straight away.
Yep.
Like Jill reckons, she's like, as soon as you hit the pillow, you're out cold.
Yeah, I'm like that.
And like on my Garmin, it's if I get an hour of deep sleep or an hour and a half, it's like right there, and there might be a little bit at like 3 o'clock or something.
Is that typical?
Well, it is typical, and I know we're jumping around here, but it's great conversation. When you first fall asleep, we need you to go into deep sleep as quickly as possible, because within that 20 to 30 minutes of falling asleep, that's when your body, think about like a fuel injector, that's when your body injects HGH and testosterone. That's why naps are so good. I try to have all my clients nap on the weekends.
I was going to ask you about that, because I look and I'm like, I get angry because I can't control my deep sleep.
Right.
I can control if I go for a cycle.
Exactly.
If I have to do a 2-hour cycle and I pull out an hour and a half, well, that's my fault.
You,
but when I wake up and I go, man, I only did 40 minutes, I'm meant to be doing 2 hours.
Yeah, and that's where it becomes frustrating, because hormones, as you just articulated, you cannot drive hormones. As much as we joke that, our sex drive, men are always on, so to speak. How many guys do you know, 25, 30 years old, I can give you a dozen of them that are pro racers, can't get an erection.
Yeah?
Oh, hell yeah.
And what's that? Overtrained? Or?
Yeah, it's the adrenals are overstressed because it's a hormonally driven activity. So that's why I say if you have low sex drive, craving simple sugars, night sweats, and you're tired and you can't sleep, you've got one or all of the big signs of adrenal. Yeah. You got the red light in the corner trying to get your attention. So going back to like you're saying right there, if you don't satisfy appetite, your body's like, all right, I need to go to sleep, but I'm hungry, so I'm going to stay up. So when your goal is to get to sleep as deeply, to deep sleep as quickly as possible, which you're already doing, then you want to get as many cycles of that as you can through the night. That's why I was saying earlier, it's got to go deep sleep, light sleep transition, deep sleep, light sleep, and it'll be dark blue, light blue, and then it'll go that red. Transition is just going from REM 1 to REM 3. REM 1 rejuvenates the brain. REM 3, deep sleep, rejuvenates the body. If you think about a funnel, if the listeners would draw a funnel on a piece of paper, at the top of the funnel, MCT, medium chain triglycerides, high quality fats, they have to come into the funnel.
MCT oil?
No.
That shit's good, man.
Yep.
Yeah, Maddie has it here. It's like a coconut oil, right? It's like a real heavy fat. You could have that in your tea and stuff.
And that's where I was going to say with
yeah.
the tea, if you don't want to eat an avocado and eggs before bed, this is why I said to Dunge on the TV show, did you eat your ice cream before
It's
bed?
full of fat.
Full of fat and protein. Now, again, before someone leaves a nasty message and says, oh, it's got sugar in it, I get that. If you want to eat an avocado and egg, go for it. I'm doing a Haagen-Dazs bar. It's just a feel-good food. To me, I always look at food as a percentage, like you're mixing two-stroke oil. If you're getting a lot of fat and a lot of protein, a little sugar is going to be offset by the fat and protein. I've done it for years and it's worked. Now, there'll be somebody that says, oh, well, I have an adverse reaction to sugar. Great. It doesn't work for you. But it works for everybody else.
But then they have a reaction to vodka as well.
Exactly.
Hey.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
They go on with all this stuff. The people who do all these comments and stuff, you know, they're out partying all the time. And
yep.
You think, man.
Yeah, Red Bull
Like,
and
no-
vodka and some fucking Coke.
Talking about sugar that Dungy's eating in his ice cream.
Yeah.
And his old mate pumping 9 vodka Red Bulls.
Do you nap at all?
Yeah, that's where I was saying is I'm like,
Wait, pull this close to your face. I don't want to
you
tell you again.
always
Just
say
pull
that,
it,
man.
Just pull it and do it. It's not hard.
I don't want it near me
It
face.
sounds better for the people listening. Basher.
Righto,
Do
man.
you nap?
Yeah. I don't want to talk anymore.
And the
Can't hear you anyway, so why bother?
and the cool part is when you look at that, so when you satisfy appetite, your body will go to deep sleep quickly. It'll be able to stay there longer, so you're getting a longer injection of HGH and testosterone. Now remember, for the listeners, HGH is HGH is human growth hormone. That's what makes you leaner naturally. So if you want to recover from the load you submitted the body to, allow it to sleep. So you've got to get to deep sleep, and you've got to stay there for as many hours as possible, at least 8. Now, I know that's idealistic for some of the listeners, like, yeah, but you don't understand my life. I get it. I understand. But at some point, remember what we said earlier? Are you going to wait until your system is diseased before you're going to go, I'm going to make it a priority? Because it's always, and I lost my mom to cancer, so it's not an easy subject for me to talk about. But the bottom line is, why do we wait till we get a diagnosis to take shit seriously? You know, if you're a type 1 diabetic and you're on an insulin pump, you take blood sugar and glycemic index real serious. Well, we have pancreases that work. Our pancreases release insulin. We eat shit food and it doesn't matter because our pancreas does all the work for us. Well, when you've got something in your body that doesn't do it correctly, if you've ever had a loved one that's a type 1 diabetic or they're on an insulin pump, it's life or death. So why wait till we get to a level of disease before we decide that that's just, we were talking about, we're supposed to be the smartest species and we do some of the stupidest things. So back to what Todd was saying, I need you to get to sleep quickly. I need you to stay there for as long a period as time so we get as many sleep cycles as possible. These watches are great because you can see how many sleep cycles you get. Now we can influence that. If you satisfy hunger with fat and protein, that's going to help. You're already killing the blue light, which we said earlier.
What about hydration?
Hydration's a huge role.
Can you be too hydrated? Like if you're drinking that much water now before bed, like do you have to get up to piss? So you sleep straight through.
But people do struggle with it. So I always say...
I don't, but I don't drink enough water. I don't reckon.
See, like as you can see, I'm like a 8:30, 9 o'clock sort of person because I'm up at 5.
Sure.
And it don't matter. I can go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm up at 5.
Yeah.
Like it's
that's
just,
your wake up call.
It's
That's your circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about earlier. That's that circadian rhythm that he's programmed himself for, which is a good thing. If we get rid of the blue light, which he's doing, we've satisfied appetite. The room needs to be super, super cold. Think about a hibernating bear, literally. It needs to have no light whatsoever, no digital clocks, no phone in the room, nothing, no sounds. White noise is okay, but anytime there's a conversation, radio, TV, your brain wants to engage in that conversation.